In today's episode, we're gonna play How Many Subscribers Can Nene Lose? Hi everyone, it's Nene. Welcome to my channel. I am on my way to my boyfriend's house. Tomorrow we are going to go to a Trump rally. Never thought I'd say those words. I live very close to Iowa. Iowa's a big state when it comes to politics. The first caucus is on January 15th, or as my East Coast boyfriend says, caucus. I do want to talk a little bit about how I feel about Trump. If you don't care, I'll put a timestamp so you can just skip to the rally part. First and foremost, I'm not somebody who's going to dislike you if you have different political values than I do. I don't associate as Democrat or Republican. I have always voted just for who I thought was the best candidate. Surprisingly though, I have found out recently from people in my real life that they thought I was a Democrat. So I am curious, those who have followed me for a long time, did you think I was a Democrat too? Like, do I give off those vibes? My thoughts though on Trump have changed. I did not like Trump. I thought he's so arrogant. He's such an asshole. And back in 2016, I was one of the people on Facebook who was saying if he became president, I was gonna move to Canada. Obviously that didn't happen. I was really disappointed because I thought he was going to make our country look bad because he's kind of uncouth. But then again, I put fart sounds in videos and I laugh if a rock formation is shaped like a male appendage. So who am I to judge people on how uncouth someone is? My opinions have changed on Trump over the years, though I do still think he's an asshole and he's arrogant, and I highly doubt he's been faithful to anybody he's been in a relationship with. But I do think he is a good politician, and that's why my views have kind of changed, because the economy is in very rough shape, and I think somebody with his business, economic-minded mind, I think is what our country needs right now. So I am really looking forward to seeing him in person. Again, never thought I would say those words. Even when I was very against Trump, if you liked Trump, I still would have been your friend. Like, I don't think people need to dislike people just because you have a disagreement. Why would you want to surround yourself with people who have the exact same thoughts and opinions as you do? When it comes to politics, that should not be a deal breaker. I shared in my Instagram stories that I went to a Trump rally, and I was curious, so I paid attention to my follower number. I lost 5 followers. One of them was my cousin. For Pete's sake. I do have a little funny story on that, because back in 2018, I had met a guy on online dating. We were still just kind of talking to each other, getting to know each other. Hadn't met in person. We never met in person, but we were having a conversation one day on Snapchat. Somehow we talked about Trump, and he mentioned that Trump was the worst president we've ever had. I said, oh no, I wouldn't say that. And now in 2018, I still did not like him, but I still didn't think he was a horrible politician. And then that started a conversation, because he was like,
oh my gosh, how can you not think he was the worst president ever?
And I'm like, well, he's arrogant, but I don't think he's the worst president ever. And he's like, he's a liar, and he's a cheat, and blah, 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 blah. And I said, you just described every single politician there has ever been in the entire history of the United States. He's like, I don't know if I can date you if you don't agree with me that President Trump is the worst president we've ever had. I said, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you were one of the snowflakes who took the day after the election off from work so you could stay home crying. Needless to say, he deleted me from Snapchat, and that didn't go anywhere. It bugs me when people are like, we have to see eye to eye politically in order to be friends or even get along. Like, I don't think that's, I don't know, that bothers me. The only thing I really didn't like that Trump did as a president is the way he handled COVID. Like, I think he could have taken that a little bit more seriously. I personally think that's why he lost the election, because he wasn't strict on COVID. And I know people will disagree with me on that too. I didn't like how the news reported that under Trump's presidency, the unemployment rate was the highest it's ever been in blah, blah, blah number of years. But like, that was during the pandemic, when a lot of people were laid off due to the pandemic. Like, anybody who was president at that time would have had those same numbers. So I didn't think that was fair. There were a lot of things that Trump did that were good that the media did not report. Like the summer of 2020, I was talking to a woman who was a Native American, and she was talking about how Trump actually gave a lot of land back to Native Americans that white people had stolen in the 1800s. And I'm like, that's a huge thing. Huge. I have very strong feelings about what white people did to Native Americans in the 1800s. That was not reported in the media. And like, that should have been, because that's significant. But yeah, I will see you tomorrow for the rally. morning! We're about to head to the rally, but first I wanted to introduce you guys to someone who has become a very important part of my life lately. This is Rush. This is Jason's cat. He really loves me, if you can't tell by the airplane ears. I should bring him with me because I'm trying to be like patriotic, so I'm wearing blue, I painted my nails red, and Rush is white. He hates me because I have tried to put some of Walter's costumes on him. He did not like that. We're gonna head to the rally and Rush is gonna plot my death. We got in line at about 11:20 and prepared ourselves for a long wait because the doors were supposed to open at 1 p.m. I really wanted a coffee to warm ourselves up because it was 28 degrees, but coffee means a potty break and we had to drive to use the restroom. I was grateful we got in line when we did though because the line kept getting longer and longer. And I was really grateful there was no snow. Usually we have snow this time of year. So 1 p.m. came and went and the doors still didn't open. I think it was around 2 p.m. when they finally did open the doors, but even then the line was moving really slowly. But as we got closer to it, I saw there was only one metal detector that everybody had to go through. And Jason reminded me to be grateful because some of the people that were way at the back of the line were probably not going to fit in the building. So that would have sucked to have stood in line for 2 hours or so and then not even get to go in. Once we got inside, we were somewhat lucky. All the places to sit were filled up, but we did get the first row of standing, so then nobody was standing in front of us.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the next president of the United States, President Donald J. Trump.
Take our country back. Hello, Iowa, and very, very happy New Year. We're going to have a great year. Hopefully, it's going to be one of the greatest years ever. You know, you have a great tradition in Iowa, a great tradition for farming and plenty of other things, but you have a great political tradition, and they wanted to move you to the back of the pack. I said, we're not doing that to Iowa. I don't want to say they respected me, but boy, did they respect this country when I was in charge. But with your vote in these caucuses, we're going to finish the job and we're going to get it done, and we're going to actually be stronger than ever before. I'm going to be a dictator for one day, for drilling and for closing the border, and after that, then I go, and then after that, I'm not going to be a dictatorship. One day. So they have me on the news all over the place. I'm going to be a dictator. Cut! Did you see that? This is the fake news media. They have the first part, I'm going to be a dictator. Cut! They had to cut it fast because I kept it going fast because I know exactly what that is. The other day I was imitating Biden because he can't walk off the stage. Right? And so they have me turning around. With your help, we're going to bring our country back from disaster. Yeah. Our country's a disaster. You're hardy people, you're strong people. Thank you. Thank you.
By the end of the rally, I'm not gonna lie, I was grumpy. Not because of Trump, but because we had been on our feet for 6 hours and there had been a lot of delays throughout the day. Like the delay getting inside, and then some senators made some speeches, but then it was about half an hour before Trump came out. So I was tired, and I'm not gonna lie, my introvert battery was depleted after being around that many people for that long. But it was a really cool experience. I did enjoy the energy, and it was really cool to see Trump in person. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't unsubscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.